Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Pop Snap and Zap, where I'm your host Sehan and this is your mini co-host Zaza. So first up, I'd like to introduce Kishlay. He's been training athletes for all clients in general for 10 years now. Next up, we have Tre. He's a seasoned practitioner of the oldest living martial arts form, Kalari Payet, and a yoga teacher and a flexibility and strength conditioner. What is the most rewarding part of being a personal trainer, and what continues to motivate you to keep working with our athletes in general?
Oh, the most rewarding, I would say money. Honestly, I love training athletes. I love to know where they come from and how they started and how they are going along.
Give it their best performance when they know at their core level that they're better than that.
Yeah, they can push more.
Been moving in this progressive direction. They are moving definitely forward, and the most rewarding thing about them is just actually watching them show up at these morning drills, man. At 6 in the morning.
And they had to wake up at like 5 a.m. reporting time. Be 5 a.m. at the place, not wake up at 5. And so suddenly there's this switch when you have to go competitive is now you don't have that relaxed mindset anymore. More you have to go super competitive. And you've got to wake up like a professional athlete, discipline yourself like a professional athlete, train like one.
From what I know from the light exposure and introduction I've had with some of these traditional arts and sport athletics, they're not just training every day as hard as they can. They're really getting a beautiful combination of nutrition and fresh food, and they're also getting a lot of great treatment, and they're getting a lot of other therapeutic exposure which some of us might consider a waste of time.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Pop Snap and Zap, where I'm your host Sehan and this is your mini co-host
Feisty.
Zaza. Today we have two great guests with us, Kishlay Sajwan and Tre Munroe. Both of them are experienced in training top-level athletes to reach success and reach their full potential. So first up, I'd like to introduce Kishlay. He's been training athletes for all clients in general for 10 years now, and now manages his own gym in Delhi since 2021, if I'm right.
Yeah.
It's called Level Up, and he trains strength, speed, endurance, and recovery. And as far as I go to describe it, it's the most vigorous form of training I've seen. Like, do not mess with him when he's in the gym. Next up, we have Tre. He's a seasoned practitioner of the oldest living martial arts form, Kalari Payet, and a yoga teacher and a flexibility and strength conditioner. And the athletes love him for all the jokes he cracks, but at the same time, he has the most vicious form of stretching, if I had to mention. Because I took some of your classes, and I say for the next 3-4 days, I just couldn't move. No coffee.
There's nothing there.
Okay, let's open up the table up for discussion. Let's just get it straight into it.
Let's dive into it.
All right. So I have a question actually from Aaron. Let me just pull it up.
Okay, we're going straight.
We're going straight
to
into
the bottom, okay.
straight of what Aaron thinks. So Aaron was, you guys have trained him, Aaron, but for the audience, Aaron is the person you met in the first podcast. He's currently the national champion in mountain biking in India. So Aaron for us has, what is the most rewarding part of being a personal trainer, and what continues to motivate you to keep working with them or athletes in general?
Oh, the most rewarding, I would say money.
Money?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, and I like to know the stories. Honestly, I love training athletes. I love to know where they come from and how they started and how they are going along. And me being a professional athlete throughout, I always want to guide them and not make the same mistakes that I made in my life, like when I was playing. So yeah, I mean, it's just I look forward to the day when they're coming. Like these 20 days when I had like session with each one of them every day. It was nice. It was very messy.
Wait, you said playing, like when mistakes you used to do, you were playing? Like,
Yeah, so okay, I would say like I was playing professionally for like good 15 years. It's not like I was not.
You're playing what though?
I was a professional footballer. Yeah, so
So professional means like,
I was playing for the top clubs in India. I played for Churchill Brothers back right after school. I went to Goa, so I was there for 3 years. Then I was playing for a club in Sweden, then Spain, and then I was back here.
oh, so you were out of country?
Yes, I was there as well. There was a stint with Delhi Dynamos as well, right when they started. and that's it. And the mistakes, I mean, during our time, let's say 15 years ago, there was no concept of physiotherapist. So, you were recovering yourself, you're doing what you're being told by the coaches. And I mean, the coaches, I would say, they were very outdated even then. Yeah. So the whole, I mean, like the knowledge was very, very limited. Yes. Like I got to know about a physiotherapist after I was 18. Yeah. So that's the standard. That was the standard then. I mean, now it's it's much better, much, way, way better now. But then though it was, like I wasted literally 8 months of my life fixing my hamstring.
Yeah, I feel I had a similar injury. I had been off of football for a while, and then I was getting back into physical training, and I think I reached back to my peak, and so I pushed myself to my limit while sprinting.
Yeah.
In one of the sprint exercises, and just suddenly felt my hamstring give out. Like it almost felt like it ripped. Physiotherapist का नाम नहीं पता था, कुछ नहीं. And I was like out for like quite a few months.
Yeah, I have like so many hamstring injuries. Like right now, though, I can literally fix my hamstring no matter how fucked it is. In just 2 weeks, like I'm done.
How do you fix it?
Wow.
Yeah.
So honestly, there are only I think there are two ways you hurt your hamstrings. One is there are muscle imbalances, right? And there's fatigue. So if you're fatigued, and you go for, let's say, 100% sprinting, so then it might just pull up. Or if your cord is way stronger than your hams. So that's one thing that, causes that injury. So how you start is you first obviously recover till there's no pain walking. And then what I used to do, I used to go for literally slow jogs just to lose my quad muscles, just to balance it out with my hams. And at the same time, I was doing compound exercises. Yeah, and slowly and gradually I started with my, literally strengthening my hamstrings and then go along.
Yeah, mine was exactly as you described it. It was not really fatigue, but I realized, like the doctor told me, your quads are more developed than your hamstrings.
So, I mean, that's what happens, like people are not training hamstring enough. So, yeah, that's one thing.
What about you, Trey? How would you give Aaron the satisfaction of answering his question?
Aaron would have to ask me the question again. What was it?
Good point. We got distracted with what Kishlay was talking. Oh yeah, I think he asked.
What inspires you?
Yeah, what gives you the satisfaction of training them? How is it rewarding?
What inspires me to train is, I think, as most trainers can agree, I think it honestly starts out as a passion or a self-practice. And as Kishlay also said, you are trying to help not necessarily younger athletes, but just anyone that's chasing fitness or wellness of a form to sort of avoid or even be able to work within a safe range of movements. So that's the inspiration for me, is to try to help people get or acquire their goals, not necessarily quicker, but just in a safer, promised guarantee from the self. The most rewarding part, I'd say, from training, are we speaking specifically about athletes? Or
Well, yeah. Well, the way Aaron phrased it was, how does it feel to train us? So,
oh man, how does it feel to train the boys? It feels really great. I think it comes as a roller coaster of just high adrenaline also, intensity. There's also moments of relief and moments of sort of introspective moments when you catch the boys sort of gassed out or kind of like not being able to give it their best performance when they know at their core level that they're better than that.
Yeah, they can push more.
Yeah, it's great to actually run with them. I have had maybe the sort of privilege of spending more time with them. So I've been around them, and it's actually really nice to see how they kind of have been moving in this progressive direction. They are moving definitely forward, and the most rewarding thing about them is just actually watching them show up at these morning drills, man, at 6
Yeah,
in the morning.
It's amazing. I can't believe I read the text as like 6:30 reported. I was like, what?
Yeah. You can feel the dread in their text when hey, good morning, guys. You ready? Let's get that coffee. And then just one of them would just be like, guys, I see you. Just ordering one now, kind of thing.
But I remember Mali's text the other day. Something like, we have a rest, so can we sleep till late?
No, I mean, we're not even that hard. So you have to train them to wake up because they're in Tawang when they just came back from a race in Tawang, right? And they had to wake up at like 5 a.m. reporting time. Be 5 a.m. at the place, not wake up at 5. Because the journey from the starting, where the bus takes you, all the way to the top was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not just doing it for, because I want to be strict. I'm doing it because kind of the situation asks for it. Yeah.
Sure.
And the biggest problem, I think, you might remember it when you were there in Tawang, was these guys waking up. They would never, we had to like get into their rooms, drag them out of bed at like 5 a.m.
I think before a big race or a big match and I was playing, it was not really difficult to get up, no matter what time it was.
So, this brings me into an interesting question. It's mindset.
Yeah.
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 You're saying it was not a problem for you to get it.
I mean, I was so excited. Like, I could hardly sleep actually. Yeah. I mean, I was on adrenaline throughout. I mean, it doesn't matter if I had slept through the night properly or not. If those 90 minutes, if I have to play for those 90 minutes, I was going all out. So yeah, waking up wasn't a problem then.
So like, for you it was excitement, right? Okay, I want to wake up.
Yeah.
Maze aa raha tha football
I have to play.
These guys, an interesting thing I've noticed about adventure sport athletes, myself too, I do snowboarding, but I don't compete.
Yeah.
Is that in general, the people who do adventure sports are very like relaxed kind of guys. We'll wake up late, we'll go out in the mountains too. And so suddenly there's this switch when you have to go competitive is now you don't have that relaxed mindset anymore. It's more you have to go super competitive. And you've got to wake up like a professional athlete, discipline yourself like a professional athlete, train like one. And it's been a year with these guys have been training, and I guess you started training them last year because he joined relatively more recently. So have you seen like a switch in their mindsets?
They are, I mean, it's like first sessions, they are always late. But I think when I started saying be on time, they were 15 minutes early. So that's something that, I mean, I think, someone needs to tell them. So someone needs to push them, which is okay. I mean, they are all young. They are all 22, but I think this is your peak time to go. So, and discipline is something that comes within yourself. I don't think anyone can teach you that. Like, you can be forced throughout, but if you don't want to do it, you won't do it.
So waking up is one thing, but have you seen like a change in attitude when they're working out?
Yeah, they are mostly, I think they were serious even then. They follow blindly, which is a great thing. Yeah. And they do have, they do everything. They do everything I tell them to. And it's not like they're not pushing hard enough, or it's like they're not slacking. They go all out. They go all out when I ask them to, so it's fine. I think even I think 1 year ago when they started, I think it was the same even then. They were going all out. And I have seen improvement in their physical strength. Even I don't know what they were doing for these past 8 months. So what I figured out is like they were probably working out as well. Yeah, they could lift heavy this time, go more reps, go harder. So yeah.
Yeah, by themselves, I guess they're more motivated.
Probably.
When they come back to you, they're like ready for the upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, this time these guys asked me like, what should we do at home? Last time they didn't. So I was like, bro, reach out to me freely. Don't hesitate at all. Yeah. I think I even told them last time as well, like, if you need anything, let me know. Like, you should just reach out to me. So yeah. And this time they asked me themselves, so I feel, yeah. They're probably happy.
What about you, Trey? Like, you joined in October?
Yep.
October. When was the October?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not that long a journey, but compared to Kishlay, you spend more personal time with them.
Okay.
So and you spend a lot more, or around the same time as Kishlay, or more time than Kishlay in the sense because you spend more personal time with them, and then you spend like 2-3 weeks continuous with them.
Right.
Gone shopping with them. So I guess you also have an idea as to this change in attitude that you've seen, or if there has been any change.
Attitude or mindset?
I guess we can break it down into two parts, right? The mindset, and one what kind of mindset have you noticed in them, at least from the first day you met to now, and then their attitude towards either trying to build that mindset or their attitude towards training.
I think their mindset has not really moved by much, and that's not saying that they were at a poor start or a low level to begin with. But I don't really believe that their mindset has really sort of moved in either direction all too much. It all exists within a specific range. But I do feel like their attitude toward situations from moment to moment, dealing with themselves, with each other as a team. Perhaps in some situations they have to move and operate as a team, if not all. Receiving advice, or perhaps even receiving instructions from whether it's a Kishlay or myself, or I'm sure they all play different roles at different times of the day where one's responsible for the time, one's handling the bills maybe, or like wash-ups or whatever it might be. I'm seeing a sort of openness and receptivity and kindness in the attitude. And I think that sort of precedes mindset. You have to sort of lower your guard into sort of maybe not fully understanding somebody else's perspective, but at least giving it the time to listen without having a retort. And again, as Kishlay said, they're young, so that makes complete sense. But I think what really trumps is that they're already a bunch of like tough, rugged, wild, high adrenaline, adventurous boys, but that do have enough blood circulation going around the brain.
That's there.
They are pretty smart.
That's
in their gut instinct approach, in their sort of study around things. They might be
They're quick learners. Yeah, quick learners. Very quick learners.
They're all also rather similar, and they all hold unique characteristics that complement each other. So I think it's quite a dynamic little setup.
They're quite inexperienced in the gym stuff, but I feel they have, like, I would say, raw strength, maybe. But yeah, so they're quite experienced in the gym stuff, but they're raw strength. So they were pushing all out.
So yeah, that brings me to another question. Like you said, they were inexperienced in their gym, like what they do at the gym. But these are guys who are like national champions or national competitors.
I know.
And they have no idea how to work at the gym. Which brings into, I guess, goes into deeper issues about like Indian athletes, top Indian athletes. Yeah. They may be the best in India. Welcome back after Zaza just created a bit of mess. So back to like that idea that national athletes, top level athletes, best competitors in India, even what do you say, repeat winners or hoping to be repeat winners.
Yeah,
best in India, but they're not. You said they're not.
I asked Ty. He told me that he's top 5 in Asia. So I was shocked. I was like,
fourth this time in Asia. Yeah. So, like, and I've met the other guys, like the champ from Taiwan, champ from Indonesia. These guys are like, you can tell they work out.
Yeah, exactly. Like these guys have strength. It's not like they have raw strength, definitely. I mean, but the techniques, and when you make them do, let's say, some Olympic movements, so yeah, then you can see that there are very imbalances. The balance is not right, the form is not right. Like you're pushing more from your right, or less from your left. So yeah, that you can easily see. So I had to start from basics then. You had to correct the squats, like literally in basic squats, I had to correct them. So, and going advanced, I'm hoping like next time they come, so we'll go do some really advanced things.
More advanced.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's the interesting thing. Like these national champs, they go to training camps held by other country, like national training camps here and there. And I remember them telling me they went to the national camp, but they had no coach. They were like, they had to build the track themselves.
Oh yeah, I was asking them this the last time I was talking to them. So I was asking Ty, like, how does he prepare for a race? I mean, honestly, like now that I'm totally into the gym, so we create competitions, within the gym. We create competitions, and there's a workout. Let's say there's a workout which has 100 reps of 3-4 exercises. So I prepare myself. Let's say I randomly place them. So there are guys who are literally planning the workout, like how they're going to go about it. So I asked Ty, like, how do you plan a race where you have to, go up and then again come down, then again go up, again come down. So how do you plan it? Like, if anyone's going faster, so what do you do if there's a sudden change? I think we do it myself. Like I do it myself. That's just amazing.
It's, yeah. I remember in Tawang in Montero, what we tried doing is switching that up a little bit. We were like, okay, now we're a team. So we have the advantage, of everyone coming up with their own problems or solutions or this, and then everyone can discuss together.
Yes.
And then the other thing we try to switch up is, now we try and visualize, because they get to practice on the tracks before.
Yeah.
So now we visualize it before, and every place you had a problem here, we try to strategize. Okay, what is the other?
Yeah, that's what is needed. If you want to win the race, you need to know where you have to go really fast and where you have to hold your strength. Let's just say stamina, where you have to basically just move along with the other athletes. So obviously, I was talking to Adil also about this. So Adil himself is a professional coach. He told me that he knows what to do, and I asked him for his schedule, like what he's doing with his bike stuff, just that, like the endurance stuff. And it was the perfect. Like I think I slightly changed something, but I think I just changed like 5% of it. All other 95% of his schedule was perfect.
Yeah, Adil is,
Yeah.
he's not just older, he's more experienced in the sport, in the cycling sport.
Yeah, there's no need, there wasn't any need to change any of his schedule. There's like...
The only thing with Adil is, in the sense, he has a very vigorous schedule, a very high intense schedule, but it's still not enough to like push him up to, he's top 10 in India, but it's not enough to push him to that elite level beyond India.
Yeah, but that's right. That you need someone to, in probably a bike or a car to go along with him. If he's going 160 kilometers and okay, he's timing himself, but then again, he's alone. Like if there's someone tying along with him at a speed that you have to push through this at this speed and you have to finish this in this time, and there's someone pushing you right there. That's what a coach does.
Like training में वक्त तो coach होता है.
Yeah.
कि he can push you.
Yeah.
He can be like, extra अभी ज़्यादा तेज आना हो. Keep going. मैंने भी notice किया training के वक्त, like when either Tre is pushing them or या फिर मैं थोड़ा बहुत cardio में push कर रहा हूँ. I'm like, I see them suddenly give a burst of energy.
Yes.
जब मैं कहता हूँ और तेज जाओ या और intensity भैया. But competition के वक्त तो हम होंगे नहीं. You won't be there. You will be in the finish line somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no walkie-talkie. Like push. No.
Yeah, that's what the crowd does to you. If there's a crowd, then they're cheering up for you.
Okay, so let's throw in another thing. Crowd maybe top level when you're like World Cup, Olympics. But before that, you have to do like 20 races to qualify for that.
They don't have that. Then there's hunger.
Everywhere. Yeah. Mindset comes. That's exactly what.
Then you should have that hunger to reach that elite level. So hunger ही नहीं है तो then there's no point.
So what creates that hunger?
Bro, that's just inbuilt, man. That's again mindset. That's just inbuilt. अगर आपको, if you don't have that inbuilt mindset कि भाई जीतना है मुझे no matter what, I just have to get to the finish line first. अगर वो ही नहीं अंदर तो फिर तुम क्यों ही कर रहे हो? Adventure sports में adventure करो ना.
सही बात. नहीं, but like so I feel like a lot of people do say this कि होता है लोगों में mindset. Some people just have it. But I feel like some people also can train that mindset, like change that mindset. Like, oh, ठीक है, मैं मजे के लिए कहता था.
Yeah.
I want to do competition.
Yeah, that's what waking up at 6 in the morning in extreme cold or maybe earlier. That's what it does. कि आप उठो सुबह 6 बजे जा तो आप दिन में भी सकते हो. ठंड में आप दिन में भी जा सकते हो, कोई वो नहीं है. लेकिन आप सुबह 6 बजे उठ के जा रहे हो ना, कर रहे हो, जाके मेहनत कर रहे हो. इसलिए तो कर रहे हो, माइंडसेट बनाने के लिए कर रहे हो मेहनत. अदरवाइज क्यों करोगे? शाम को ट्रेनिंग करो आराम से जाके, मस्त चिल करके ट्रेनिंग करो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. कौन रोक रहा है तुम्हें? अगर तुम्हें आराम से अपना बॉडी बनानी है, जैसे जिम में लोगों को बॉडी बनानी है, शाम को जाते हैं वर्कआउट करने. कुछ लोग लेकिन आते हैं ना सुबह अपने ऑफिस से पहले. मेरा सुबह 6:30 बजे फर्स्ट सेशन होता है, तो लोग आते हैं, दे डू टर्न अप इन द मॉर्निंग. समटाइम्स इवन आई एम लेजी, लाइक ओके भाई ये फर्स्ट एक्सरसाइज कर ले, मैं पहुंच रहा हूँ. ये भी होता है, ऐसा भी हुआ है, क्योंकि एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड है, पहुंच रहे लेकिन लोग 6:30 बजे एक बंदा आ गया है कि हाँ वो पहुंच गया, मैं आ गया हूँ.
तो जिसको ट्रेन करना है,
जिसको ट्रेन करना है वो करना है भाई, उसको पता है उसको ऑफिसर से उसके वो बाद में नहीं कर पाएगा. So he's waking up 1 hour earlier, na? He's also waking up he can wake up at 8 easily, but he's waking up at 5:30. कि हाँ मुझे जाके वर्कआउट भी करना है. So that's what mindset is. वही चेंज करता है माइंडसेट आपका रेस में. अब मैं I was talking to Adil that time. ठीक है, तो Adil was telling me कि bro, like even if it's 140 kilometers, 160 kilometers, those 139 kilometers are the same. You know, everyone is just tagging along. वो लास्ट का 1 किलोमीटर 500 मीटर जो है उसमें जो बर्स्ट होता है ना, वो है बस मेन चीज़. तो उसमें किसी ने बर्स्ट कर दिया पहले और लीड ले ली, एक सेगमेंट लीड ले ली, तो फिर तो गया, फिर कुछ है ही नहीं. तो यू जस्ट हैव टू सी एंड यू हैव टू प्लान क्या करना है, कब करना है. सो भैया दैट्स व्हाट माइंडसेट इज.
that's mindset for, let's say, the guy who's training. What about like mindset for you guys? Waking up to train, these guys are like,
पैसा ब्रो,
पैसा.
And I look forward to it. I look forward to, like I said, seeing their crusty faces in the morning. Yeah.
तो आई हेट दैट.
There's nothing better than
Come on.
for me. I get off.
Oh, I hate
Like I said,
Love it. Yeah.
I am a sadist. I am a sadist in a way that जब वो when they're dying, when dying post workout, when they're dying post, like you know, when they finish the workout and they're dead like this, I love that feeling. You know, just like they have literally come, and even they love that feeling. Like post that dying, when they get up, that feeling of that their face, it just looks like they're extremely proud of themselves.
well, they got through Kishlay's workout.
Yeah, that's the feeling that, you know, I love that feeling. So yeah, huge thing.
The hell was I said?
Mindset. Mindset.
I don't know. I got thrown off.
No, like basically, why do you?
You're talking about faces.
Yeah, like why do you? Your mindset when you have to.
Oh yeah, mindset of the. I mean, I'm all in. Like from the moment I said yes to this, I felt like I was all in. The mindset for me has always been positive. I feel like I've been waking up way earlier than when I even really need to wake up. Kind of feel like I'm the uncle of this group sometimes, but I'm happy to show up with them. I'm happy to be there, not just on the training grounds. I'm happy to train alongside them, if not training and replicating exactly what they're doing during their sessions. For me personally, besides not just being a sadist, but also a masochist, I like to put myself through some sort of challenge. It's nice to know what they feel. It's nice to know what they go through. It's nice to understand what the teammates and the other fellow coaches around, the sort of intensity they're packing, the kindness in their tone, how it's hitting you in the moment. It's nice to know how the recovery time, like everything, it's just really great. I love it. I feel like it's not just me teaching them or sharing skills and methodologies with them. I feel like with the feedback they're giving myself and all of us, spoken or unspoken, I feel like the training is actually two ways. And so I truly feel like I've now entered a relationship with each of them or all of them as athlete and coach. But I'd like to think that my mission is beyond just giving them a set rules of instructions on the field, but I want to be able to motivate them. And that, just the idea of that is very motivating for me.
So, when you said recovery, something popped in my mind. I personally feel like recovery is a relatively new concept in Indian sports.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah, it's like
Nobody.
just go hard every day.
Nobody understands recovery.
I don't know. I don't know really. I don't know if that the answer to that is hard yes or hard no. I feel like traditional India or indigenous India sports, or KL as they call it, is quite holistic. And I mean like wholesome holistic, like it encompasses everything. From what I know from the light exposure and introduction I've had with some of these traditional arts and sport athletics, they're not just training every day as hard as they can. They're really getting a beautiful combination of nutrition and fresh food. And they're also getting a lot of great treatment. And they're getting a lot of other therapeutic exposure, which some of us might consider a waste of time, such as nature exposure.
Exactly.
So actually, I think maybe if the question is with the new sports that are coming into India, recovery is not focused on a lot, then I would agree on something like that. We're just trying to push out and put India on the map of like, hey, we're also great at football, we're also great at pickleball and whatever. And I'm not trying to like denounce those sports, but I'm just saying because maybe we're trying to get on the map. And also with the indigenous sports, it's more about showing that because I think the global understanding is aesthetics and just the sort of physical endurance and pushing of it without much info or sharing. Having said that, I do believe that international athletes have great recovery. Maybe they don't share enough of that because it's secret or they all have their own.
Right, there are methods, technologies, infrastructure. There are a lot of things now.
Yeah.
I mean, there are literally techniques and machines, literally machinery that, makes you recover like within, take this, they're helping you recover within 2 hours. No matter what, and you're going ready to go again. So there are ice baths, there are literally therapies going around now.
Yeah, I remember like the first big moment, at least from my perspective when it came to recovery, was when everyone saw like Michael Phelps' back pay. There were like these dart circles and cupping therapy.
Cupping therapy
came into play.
Then there was even then at that point it was there. था वो तब भी 10-15 साल पहले भी था ऐसा नहीं है कि cupping therapy was not there. But वही है ना कि we all, I think it's the time of Olympics, right? When he had that cupping and everyone was like shocked, like what is this? ये क्या निशान है इसके पीछे?
All over the news.
Michael Phelps कुछ बीमारी होगी इसको
खुद को पीटता है
खुद को पीट कोई मार रहा है उसके से ये
Victim of domestic violence.
It's like, what is happening? Like, this is cupping therapy, bro. No, like, that's what I'm saying. The concept of physiotherapy in India it's very late blooming.
But as long as it's starting, it's
So yeah, it's a good thing. I know it's there. It's everywhere now. तो चलो ठीक है. Now there are massages, sports massages. हमारे time पे तो क्या? What? Bro, we did not know what it was. There's no idea, bro. Side में लेट जाओ, ऐसे करके लेट जाओ side में. I think that was ये था हमारे पास time पे तो.
I remember the school, when I was in school, I was a small batch. So like, if you were good at if you were athletically capable, you would be selected for every sport. चाहिए, बनना चाहिए. So football is always what I focus in, but like, था मैं athletics, so like मुझे 100 meter sprint में भी डाल दिया, 200 meter sprint में भी डाल दिया. I remember we would go for these competitions in Sonipat and Elliot.
Yeah.
And we were not conditioned for sprints. We do one sprint, we're like, okay, cool. But hota kya tha, there'll be like heats same day, there'll be like quarter final same day, final same day. And recovery kya hota tha, हम लोग ज़मीन पे बस लेट जाते थे, and then we wake up feeling even stiffer than before. Your body तो गई अब तो. और हमारे coach didn't let us like teach us, cool down exercises or like stretches, this, that. We just rest करो, उठो, sprint again.
Ciao. Go warm up. Just go for it. Pago, 100 meters, just go all out.
And same thing, and there was no concept of a 100 meter sprint or 200 meter guy. ठीक है, flow चलने दो, वो ठीक है. 100 meter sprint, 200 meter sprint, and then 5 kilometer out of nowhere, my sir was like, कर लेगा तू, football के अंदर stamina है. And I was like, oh, and भाई फट गई थी 5 kilometer में. Like it's a different thing when, okay, you're in a football game, maybe you run 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, but you don't notice it. You're focused on the game, you just
run 10 kilometers.
It's not like constantly running 10 kilometers.
I'm sure you're not running 10 kilometers in a football fan.
No, I mean, I think on average players run from 5 to 9 kilometers somewhere around there. But it's not like running. It's like, oh, you...
Yeah, now to even referees are running 12 to 16 kilometers. I think the game is so advanced now. Everyone is running a lot. Nobody's standing. Yeah.
And you also don't notice, like, one thing I noticed is I used to be much faster when I was chasing a football or when I was, like, chasing an opponent versus. I didn't realize that mindset until much very later, like when I was 25, 26. But I was much faster when I was chasing something. When I was not focused on running, I was much faster. Versus when I was sprinting, because I was only running, my goal was to run as fast as possible. I was focused on form, this, that, and it felt like I was much slower than I would normally be. And then my coach would always be disappointed. Yeah, ball ke piche itna tez bhagta hai.
Yeah, that's something. That's your, I would say, adrenaline that kicks in. That you have to reach that ball first. And I'm sure athletics. Also, like athletics coach, there are hardly any athletics coach in every school now.
Just a PE teacher.
Yeah. I mean, they're not teaching you how to run. Like 90% of the people don't know how to run. So that's also a thing.
Yeah.
How to step on the ground.
People don't even, or not knowing is not, but can't even efficiently stand. Like stand in the posture.
Standing posture is a thing. Posture will get
It's a legit thing.
Yes, yeah, posture is definitely not a thing, like running posture, because so again, like I said, small school tha na, so there's this view, relay ke liye bhi the hum log. We were there for the relay.
Yeah.
And we were one guy short. So our coach just was like, who wants to run? And one guy from my class was like, I want to run. And we had all known this guy's not been athletic at all. And I don't think any of us were paying attention, but he did manage to make the cut a little bit. The coach noticed that he made the cut in terms of speed. But when it came to running, like when we finally practiced with him, his form was, you could tell कि बंदे ने जिंदगी भर सिर्फ treadmill पे भागा है. Like he didn't have long strides. It was just going up and down quickly. His hands were like literally like chopping karate board kind of thing. And then, but the coach didn't mind. Form नहीं है क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Like भाग लेगा.
Yeah, nobody taught me how to run. I think it was very natural for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have represented the country. I don't know then how you run. You put your foot on the ground. I didn't know that. I was just doing it naturally because I was athletic from like very beginning. Like I was playing when I was 5, 6. I started playing even then. So I think tab se chal raha hai. But nobody taught me like this is how you run. That's how you put your foot on the ground. That much your knee should raise off the ground when you're running. किसी ने कुछ नहीं बताया.
I remember in college then I was injured. So I was like asking my coach, okay, I just want to contribute to the team. So college I was in Netherlands, not here. So there was no such thing as college teams. There was more clubs and you just joined like local club. So I was like, I just want to help out. And so they taught me how to condition players and stuff. Because then on the side I started conditioning players. And they taught me the specific difference of how to teach a football player to sprint versus how to teach a sprinter to sprint. Because you must have seen, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo sprinting, and it does not seem like the most beautiful form of running.
Yeah, it's not because he has to not run straight through it.
But or any other player, as a matter of fact. So
it's different. It's quite different.
Yeah, they don't just teach you how to pass, how to dribble, how to do this. They teach you all the off the ball things. They'll teach you proper technique for running, this, that. And I came back, and since then I've been trying to like add a few things I've learned from there to put it into conditioning for guys here. But it's interesting, like sports science is a huge thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like it's a new thing, but it's new for us. Actually, it's new for us. But sports science is amazing. How you can literally change the athlete's level. Like he can go monster. If you can literally make an athlete go monster if all the right things are done.
Which in terms of monster, so this is modern sports science. You work with something.
Yeah, I work.
That's very old school. Not old school, but that's been there for
ancient.
Ancient, yeah. I mean, ancient is one way, and it's like the oldest living martial art form. And I feel like in a way, so what science does is it does methodological stuff, right? Trial error, what works, what doesn't work. So maybe the martial arts form you worked with is not necessarily applied that method, but through so many generations, eventually trial and error happens. And you eventually reach this peak art form, or you're still progressing towards it. And so do you notice ki when you do, like, let's say Kalari Payat, does it, like, the way you teach it, the way you teach body movements is much different than how, like, a modern sports scientist would be, like, I guess, much more structured with the way they say, this is how you move, like, compartmentalized. You move one part of the body like this when you're sprinting. So you move your arm up, you move it spur like this. So do you notice it similar with what you teach or how you teach?
Yeah, I do.
And just one more thing. And is there like a difference in the flow or in the way you teach, in the sense, does that old art form bring different kind of teachings that you don't see in modern sports?
Yeah. Yeah. In training in Kalari Payat, there is a constant sort of, let's say, contributing bits, or if you think of it as like a thali with like different components of movement-based nutrition or nutritious movement. Kalari Payat is firstly very dynamic in its movement, in its postures, in the explosiveness of it, and then falling into grace or a harmony or into a flow state. So it's constantly training things like your explosivity, like I just mentioned, or your breathing, your length at which you're holding yourself, the gait at which you're traveling, and the lengths, the various ranges in the lengths of your limbs, or unilateral movement. It's all happening at the same time. So yes, I would say not just myself, but also how I guide people before I got into and understood Kalari Payat and after is very different. I feel like it's almost intuitive is not the word that I'm looking for right now, but I feel like there are more eyes, like I'm trying to observe, or I am observing a lot more when it comes to the players or the athletes or just clients in general. It's benefited me a lot. And modern is, I mean, what is modern and fast is really we're all just kind of moving in a upward spiral. We're all coming back to the same lessons, and we're all discovering more lessons within the same lesson, really. It's just like we're getting more lights on the same spaces and we're all just moving up together. So modern is actually past modern. It's all happening right now in the present. We're all taking even technology right now, which is futuristic, is just trying to understand more of the ancient concepts.
Yeah, I feel
so. Yeah. So even when it comes to things like recovery or nutrition or unilateral training, I think what modern science or sports science does is it's broken that down into like these chapters are about that. And this is a full, complete understanding. And for us, again, in our Eastern or traditional practices, we weren't so like literal. It was just like,
not so detailed.
Yeah, it's like,
it's like a wholesome movement,
Yeah,
you know,
it's like
wholesome, everything was wholesome.
Exactly. And it's like, this has been done for thousands of years. Exactly. So why would we read up about it? We'll just do it.
Yeah, we just do it.
understand
It's like it's a whole thing. Like you have to need to do all of them without anyone telling you that you need to do this as well.
Yeah.
This part as well. So now there are so many distractions and everything, and you just forget to do this or anything like that. Like let's say me personally, I'm not proud of it, but I hardly stretch. I don't stretch because I don't have time. Okay, so I have like 8 sessions a day going on, and I need to rest as well, and I need to do my workout as well. So there are days when I just get half an hour to get my workout done. I just do that, and I don't think there's time to stretch post that. So these are the things that in his art, people are doing it throughout. Like you have to have, if there are 2 hours of training, you have to complete everything no matter what. It's there. It is there.
Brings me to an interesting concept on consistency. You said like, one day, ek din sirf aadha ghanta hota hai, 30 minutes. One day might be 2 hours. So like, how would you define consistency? Because a lot of people believe consistency is ki, mera roz 2 ghante ka schedule hai. If I can't train 2 hours, I can't train 2 hours, I'm not going to show up. I'm going to show up tomorrow when I can probably.
That's definitely not consistency. Consistency is you training for that half an hour also. Yeah, so you have to do it no matter what. Agar wo half. Again, I think this is a very old saying, some workout is better than no workout.
Yeah.
You just have to show up.
Yeah, you have to show up. No matter what, it's okay. You can't do anything. Just go for a walk, man. Just go out. Just move. Movement is very important.
I think maybe you just came up with that saying.
No way.
Put it up at kitchen table. Like,
I have, like, your show is there.
Perseverance, endurance. Some workout is better.
Yeah, some workout is better than no workout.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very old saying. I mean, I knew.
It's like saying, I'm not going to get my full meal, so chalo, I'm not going to eat.
Not going to eat. You don't do that. You eat. You still eat something.
Yeah.
so just like, 2 घंटे का workout नहीं हुआ आज. That doesn't mean I can't do like, okay, a part of it or like 2 hours, you know.
Yeah, or you just finish quickly, man. I mean, okay, so there's this girl who just came, you know, she wanted to, she wanted to take personal training with me. And she was like, how much time are you going to give me? I said, 40 minutes to 60. I mean, that's the right time. That's the correct time. There's no point. So like, I trained for 2 hours. And, I think I need more time. I think I'm the one who's going to tell you how much to rest.
Yeah, so what's the point of having me as a trainer?
I mean, if you want to be on your phone, I mean, you can do it yourself. I mean, it's all right. So she came and like, phone वहाँ रख दो, please. Phone दूर रख दो, phone पे जाते रहो, नहीं जाना. And within 35-40 minutes, you were done. I was like, okay, मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. But like, yeah, that's what you do. I mean, yeah, I've seen people burning out for 3 hours at the gym. And like, what? Yeah, I mean, what are you trying to do? Because you are definitely not taking enough nutrition, right? People who are like bodybuilders and all these athletes who are working out 3 hours a day in the gym, they are consuming nutritious liquid during the workout so that their muscles don't burn. Post 40 minutes, it's your body burning your muscles. वो ग्लूकोज जो एनर्जी है वो खत्म हो चुकी है भाई तुम्हारी, वो मसल से एनर्जी ले रहा है. यू आर नॉट रियली बिल्डिंग मसल्स. अगर तुम बाइसेप का एक सेट मार रहे हो तो यू आर नॉट रियली बिल्डिंग योर बाइसेप्स. यू आर लूजिंग आउट ऑन योर बाइसेप बिकॉज you are able to lift because your body is taking
You're burning your own source of energy.
Yeah, वो एनर्जी आ रहा है मसल से, तो यू आर लिटरली बर्निंग इट डाउन. 40 minutes to 1 hour. लोग उसके बाद people take a lot of things. People take creatine during workout, people take intra workout, people take a lot of things during workout. So वो चीज़ें लेके क्या होता है कि हाँ, you have enough energy to not burn your muscles. So, but anyway, why did we get here?
Consistency से
Yeah, consistency is about it. Yes.
Yeah, you're like 2 घंटे workout से मतलब why are you working 2 hours?
I mean, yeah. So basically, when I say I mean, I get the point now. Why I started to cover Yeah, now I get it. I mean, yeah, you can finish your workout in half an hour also. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि half an hour workout नहीं होता. भाई ठीक है, तू 5 सेट 4 सेट मत मार, 3 सेट मार ले, बट कर तो नहीं है टाइम तेरे पास, कर. तू मत कर वो जो वार्म अप में 10 मिनट ट्रेडमिल पे चढ़ रहा है, मत कर वही. जस्ट फट से शुरू कर अपने सेट्स, कोई वो नहीं है. जस्ट मूव अराउंड अ बिट एंड देन स्टार्ट योर सेट्स. लोग को आना है, बातें करनी है, 10 मिनट 15 मिनट बातें करनी है, फिर
अलग वार्म अप होता है वो.
फिर ट्रेडमिल पे जाना है, फिर उसके बाद फिर आना है, तब उठाएंगे वेट्स. ऐसा नहीं होता है.
So, different levels of mindset, which I guess has a sort of proportion level or rate to consistency, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are also, no one's really doing anything wrong, even from the everyday, let's call them 9 to 5ers or whatever, common people, normal people, non-athletes. They're just doing what they know best.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're seeking the information out or someone else is handing the information to them, that comes down to, again, how badly do you want whatever it is you want, whether it's weight loss or to fit into that suit for the ceremony or whatever. No one's necessarily wrong. They're just doing what it is that they know. But I like when you said it doesn't have to be, or using the example of the 2-hour workout, you can actually show up for 30 minutes and you don't have to go hard in those 30 minutes. If you're not feeling it, you can do.
Just move, man. Just do basic things. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to. Okay, I get it. You have a schedule. You have a schedule to follow. I get it. There are these number of exercises you have to do, and these are the particular exercises you have to do, and these number of sets. It's not necessary. If you're not feeling like it, मत करो यार. एक दिन से कुछ नहीं होगा unless you're competing for something else. ठीक है, अगर आप किसी चीज़ के लिए compete कर रहे हो तब then तो there this saying comes in that no pain no gain, you know. Then there's like कि हाँ ठीक है, no matter what you have to do it. अगर if there's a goal in your head, goal in your eyes, that is you have to compete professionally. Stage पे चढ़ना है let's say. तब फिर ये नहीं है कि आलस वाला बहाना नहीं चलता तब कि हाँ घर पे मम्मी ने बुलाया है तभी वाला बहाना नहीं चलता.
This were two interesting points. One thing I was going to ask was, how is your attitude, or how do you work with clients, normal clients, everyday clients, versus like someone who comes in with a goal, let's say an athlete, I want to be elite level. So like, what's your mindset with dealing with them?
Oh, it depends on their mindset. Like now it has been so long, like अब तो बहुत टाइम हो गया कराते लोगों को. Now I can literally see बात पहले 5 मिनट पता चल जाता है कि if he's going up or not, if he's gonna like reach that level or not, वो पता चल जाता है. पहली ट्रेनिंग सेशन में पता चल जाता है, उसके एटीट्यूड से पता चल जाएगा. और even if it's a normal client who wants to lose weight for their or his or her wedding, I would know instantly that if he or she will be able to do it or not. नहीं, पहले ही पता चल जाता है. First session में you just know, and then you know how much you want to put in. I mean, okay, I get it. Coaches do put in 100%, should put in 100% no matter what the client is. But that's not really how it works. I mean, if your client is not giving you 100%, your coach won't give you 100%. It's as simple as that. I mean, that's my theory. If there's no accountability from your side or from the client side, then ठीक है, coach अपना क्या बैठा रहेगा, वैसे ही होता है usually. और ये फिर this becomes a habit, you know, because all the clients are just there. कोई serious नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है, तो फिर वो coach तो बैठ के होता है, फिर वो बैठ के कराता है सब कुछ.
What about you, Trey? You train people in a different environment. Not
I'm sure everyone who's there, they're like 100% focused, laser.
Yeah, but like, I guess the idea of calorie diet is also new to people. Like, it's interesting. So you probably also get people who just want to try it out once versus people who like.
Oh, just calorie diet. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a it's a martial art that's being revived. So the last, let's say, 2 decades, maybe about 15 years.
There was in this movie also.
But even in its resuscitation process, it's been so either coveted or so sort of banished by the British Raj when they were around that truly the farther north you move from south of India, people don't even really know. And for 90% of the people that have heard of it, they've heard of it and they pronounce it wrong. But
Payattu?
Yeah, pattu. But that's across the board. Or they will have the mother of all martial arts. Or I've seen something, people are jumping, I went for something in South India. Like, that's it. The more you go up north, there's like less and less of an understanding. But people have sort of heard it somewhere in the, echoes of their memories somewhere.
Yeah,
You'll get it.
Yeah, same with me. I heard it. Yeah. So it's the Bodhi Rama guy from your team?
Sorry?
Bodhi Rama, someone who went to China and started the mixed martial arts.
No, he took it
from your So
from here.
Yeah, so that's how I heard about Kalari Part. Yeah.
So yeah, in a way, it is mother of martial arts. We're digressing a little bit, but I'll just more like to share this.
Welcome back. We had a tiny little technical break, but even though the technical team needs to take a break, we're still ready to go full more. We'll get back to what you were saying, if you remember what you were saying.
I was talking about, I guess, the history of it, right?
Yeah.
So besides just the obvious traits of goods and spices, there definitely was a lot of exchange in the martial arts skills or the fight techniques. It would be unfair to say that India is where all of the martial arts birthed, but definitely you can also find traces of fighting arts or martial art lifestyles in the bushes of Vietnam or Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia. as well as, I guess, the deep far outskirts of like our Western counterparts. So there was exchange that was happening. Kalaripayat is also majorly, it's a martial art for self-defense. It's a defensive martial art. So actually, your real goal as a practitioner is to maintain that energy field of yours, not have someone sort of enter within, let's say, for the effect of this conversation, like 6 feet from around here. So it's not really ever using your upper body, really. It's all through your legs, if your body, or using sticks or other things like that. So Kalaripayat probably received its Musa, what is known from the deserts of Persia, right? And then combined it into their own skills and then put it back out there into the world. That's the history of it. I forget. I was digressing for a minute, and I guess I'm completely off the rails.
Yeah, like I guess we can go back to the idea of like since you train from a martial art that's much older.
Oh yeah, true.
How does it influence your way of teaching these guys, or teaching athletes, or teaching people, or dealing with clients, or well, the original question was
Yeah.
dealing with average clients versus athletes, and then we sort of deviated, or not deviated, slightly changed the question to you with how does your background influence the way you train or teach people?
Yeah, so the changes I'd say after Kalaripayat are, I want to say there's a little bit more of a mindfulness approach from my end. I would say pre-Kalaripayat, I was a practitioner of largely calisthenics-based strength and conditioning. I wouldn't completely avoid the gym, but like calisthenics was something I was doing every day, and happily for like the above said 2 hours, even 3 hours. Really enjoying it. I would couple that up with like cycling from one class to the next, or cycling from home to my whole day on the bicycle, going to yoga classes and stuff. But all of that, my trainings that I would share with my friends. I've only recently, coincidentally, Kalaripayat is also quite a recent love in my life, practicing art. But before that, my sharings toward people, how I would guide them, was more thought-based. Like, this is something that we know has worked. So many people have reviewed it and it's given it a thumbs up. Kalaripayat, I'd say, is a little bit more, like I said, I have a little bit more of a mindful approach where I'm truly not looking at like these instructions need to be met for the set. You might have 100 exercises to do, but if all we can focus on today is the 2 exercises, because your body is also receiving it, or your ego is receiving it with a lot less guard, much less guard, then we'll focus on something like that. So I think it's taught me how to be more efficient versus just effective. And that's something that I don't think I'll ever turn my back on again, like efficient practices for me, which is a combination of safe, injury recovery, injury prevention, recovery post-workout, non-workout based exercises as well, and a certain sort of, well, in the case of not being an athlete, but a certain kind of reminder of like, remember why you're training, kind of a thing. And it might be through a joke, or it might be through some trivia that I receive along the way, and I'm happy to share it with the students or clients or whomever is looking for it or seeking it.
So I have an interesting question. Like, this is basically advice for the audience or any aspiring athlete to watch. But let's say I'm an aspiring athlete. Advice to me. Consider me fresh out of high school, 18 years, 17 years, whatever. I'm an aspiring athlete. I consider myself talented. Let's say I consider myself a talented footballer, basketballer, mountain biker. From a physical instructor's perspective, what advice would you have for this athlete? Not as like a skill-based coach, not like, oh, I'll train you more in football. But as a physical instructor, from your perspective, be brutally honest.
Yeah.
What advice would you give me, an 18-year-old? And then maybe we can switch it up after this. What advice would you give someone who's younger than that and someone who's older than that?
Let's talk on football terms. Let's say that if you haven't represented any nationals, because now there is like the infrastructure is I would say like it's still average. It's still below average considering European countries, but I would say it's still fine, much better than what it was. If you haven't represented, let's say, nationals, like Delhi, let's say you haven't represented the state, you're from Delhi, if you haven't represented the Delhi state, then I would say you're too late. Like, too late to start, you're just wasting time now. Like, you're just wasting your parents' money.
Too late as in if I'm 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you haven't gone out, like it could be. I could be very wrong here. There are raw talents out there. I mean, there are raw talents out there who can just start. Like if you, but I feel वो सौरव गांगुली वाला ज़माना गया. Saurav Ganguly started playing cricket when post 18. Like he was playing football. He was focused on football then. Like हाँ चलो cricket भी खेल लेते हैं. Cricket में ज़्यादा पैसा तो cricket खेलते हैं. So he started post 18, then went on to become the captain of India. So, and at the same time, if you see Rahul Dravid, I think he's an engineer. So पढ़ाई भी साथ में full on कर रहा है. और ये मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा पढ़ो मत. But if you want to become a top athlete, you have to give your 100% there. पढ़ाई करो, like at the same time, if I see myself, I was doing MBA. I am an MBA now. So I was doing MBA during my playing years. So I would say कि हाँ, you find your own, let's say, academically you find what you can do comfortably, so that there's a backup. I get it. Backup should be there, definitely. But if you want to be a pro athlete, you have to go all in, right? Let's say, like in European countries, if you're literally taking football terms, 7, 8, if you start at 8, 9, you're late, they consider you late. If you started playing at 9, 10, they say you're late. They start playing when you're 4, 5. By 9, 10, they can figure out if you're gonna be a great or not. If you're gonna be a pro footballer or not. By 9, 10, they figure that out. So that's the level there.
So in India,
Yeah.
when you say you're late, and you also mentioned the idea of structure and everything, there is structure now. So you mean like because there's an organized structure now, it's much harder to get in at a later age, or also you mean physically, like talent-wise, skill-wise?
Talent-wise, skill-wise, where you're learning. If you don't know what's going around, then definitely you are not good enough. Okay, if you're just playing in some school, practicing there, playing with your friends, and you think you're very great because your friends are telling you that you're great, but you're not being tested out. You know, you're not going for trials where there are 500 children coming. So, like there you need to test yourself. अगर वो वहाँ पे नहीं हुआ, वहाँ पे नहीं करा हुआ, तो फिर तुम कैसे बोल रहे हो कि हाँ I am very good just because your friends are saying? ऐसा नहीं होता है.
Do you believe the same?
Yeah, similar. I would say to the 18-year-old athlete coming out of India, I'd probably say turn off your phone and disappear for a year.
Yeah.
And don't do anything to prove that you are professional and you want to get deeper, go harder, faster, or basically become better. I don't think there's any way, especially coming out of India. This is the beauty of India, but this is the challenge as being an Indian, that as a training athlete, that's one of the many personalities or profiles that you have in the day, right? We're not just coaches,
Yeah.
we're also family men, we're also people that have other aspirations and growths and social lives and moods and all of that stuff. But I think the Indian sort of world is, there's always something colorful every day. So if an athlete is truly trying to go professional, but is also a person of family and society and then the many moods and seasons of India, then you always have to go home for Diwali ka celebration, then you're going home for like some Christmas, New Year, and before you know it, then you have to go back home for like a chai and a samosa again. So you can't really actually get that at 18. If it's too late, let's go with that. If it's too late at 18, if you're not going to actually disappear and really push yourself for every day. find a coach or a team or just a comrade that you can train with.
Yeah, that's very important.
Or also train by yourself. Some people do actually enjoy
Yeah, I've
training
trained myself
by themselves.
throughout my life.
Yeah, I actually love to train by myself.
I've
But
ran
there are
miles.
there are moments though in my personal solo training where I would hit a point where it's nice to have a comrade.
Yeah.
Because whether you know it or not, camaraderie is actually good. I think that's also something that's actually changed between our day and present modern day, the times that we live in, was there was a certain kind of tough coaching or tough love, and there was a little bit of jostling and wrestling around, and you could, you know, poke a joke that really goes under the skin, but there was motivational aspects to that. And people knew that what happened on the field kind of stayed on the field, and you don't take that home. The same boys that are poking and nudging each other and, you know, throwing each other off guard are sharing the sandwich or the auto ride or the whole ride home. But today it's a little bit about like everyone's a winner kind of thing, and actually no, the winners are the winners, and the other ones that didn't.
We are actually trying to be very sensitive now. You know, like nobody should like. There's okay, I get it. The whole part of, I would say, mental awareness that is there, but you have to go hard or go home.
Exactly, you have to go hard. So
then this is there. Like, okay, I get it. Like, children are now sensitive, quite sensitive to things, and there's mental awareness topics going on.
So yeah, I like just chipping in a bit. Like, I don't want to tell how people to parent or anything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you can tell your kids or you can tell everyone, hey, you're a winner, you're a winner. But then suddenly reality strikes when they're trying to like go pro, or when they're trying to like compete with other people.
I know.
And they're like,
Yeah.
I'm not a winner.
Yeah. So
And-
that's why I'm saying that. That's why I said that you were late when you say you're after 18. If after 18 you are wondering that okay, yeah, I need to be a professional now. I want to be a professional now. So that's why the thing that you are late is because in those years, if you start figuring out that what I want to do now, I mean that's when the reality will check in. Like,
yeah, and
कुछ पता ही नहीं होगा क्या करना है भाई आगे, और फिर तुम 26 साल 27 साल तक उसी पे लगे रहोगे कि हाँ मैंने इतना टाइम तो दिया ही नहीं इसको चीज़ को, फिर तुम लगे रहोगे उस पर 26 पे रियलाइज होता है वो शिट कोई बैकअप नहीं है. now what am I supposed to do? So yeah, that only works for people who have a really good background, man.
yeah.
बाप की कंपनी है बहुत अच्छी, उसको ज्वाइन कर लूँगा तभी कर सकता हूँ मैं ये सब काम, अदरवाइज तो बहुत मुश्किल है. इंडिया में तो बहुत लोग हैं जो कर रहे हैं, बहुत लोग हैं जो जाके खेल रहे हैं सुबह शाम, who have started very early. But I also feel the importance of team. Like if you have a team along with where you're going, so then the company, you know, it helps you around.
Of course,
Yeah.
we thrive with people around us.
Yeah.
We're social beings. Yeah, and there's always constant feedback, you know. Sometimes you're tricking yourself into being, convincing yourself that you're better, convincing yourself that you're not good enough. And both of those mindsets that are not accurate to yourself can also be detrimental, too positive or too self-depreciating.
So, as an instructor, like, because whenever you have a new student, you have to do some sort of assessment, right? Mental assessment, not physical.
Yeah.
Physical, so definitely, but like, how do you figure out if someone is pessimistic, someone is optimistic, someone is realistic?
You talk to them, you ask them like, क्या करते हो, कितना training करते हो, कितना वो है, क्या वो है. There are people who are overtraining, definitely. They are like 4-5 hours in the morning, 3-4 hours in the evening. I'm like, what? फिर तुम्हें जिम भी आना है, कहता मैं जिम भी करूँगा. मैंने बोला ऐसा नहीं होता है भाई, that's not okay. You will get burnt out, you will get injured. Once you start getting injured at the age of 16-17, ठीक है, it becomes a long thing. These are the times, like I would say 10 to 18 are those years where you should not get injured, you know, unless you get a knock. That's a different thing. But you should not get muscle fatigued. Fatigue नहीं हो सकता आपको उस टाइम पे. उस टाइम पे अगर आपको fatigue हो रहा है, you're definitely overtraining yourself. Yeah. Even though कर जाते हैं इस टाइम पे लोग overtrain, ठीक है, क्योंकि body cope up कर लेती है. But अगर इस टाइम पे ये होने लग गया, तो फिर बहुत मुश्किल है. So I ask them कि क्या करते हो, कितना करते हो, कब उठ रहे हो. That's very important. That something is waking up in the morning is, and what time is the most. I think it's very important to know what's the mindset of the person. and that's literally, I think, because of my dad, because there was times where I was waking up really late, there's nothing to do, injured, और कुछ नहीं करना, 12-1 बजे उठ रहा हूँ. तो then वो रोज़ I was like, मैं सुन रहा था तब रोज़ उनसे कि हाँ भाई क्या हो रहा है, क्यों कितना 12 बजे उठ रहा है, क्या सीन है. मैं तो कुछ करने को ही नहीं है, तो क्या हुआ, कहते रिकवरी कर, तो वेकअप इन द मॉर्निंग, रिकवरी कर, आदत क्यों वो कर रहा है. तो मैंने सुना है, काफ़ी टाइम सुना है. So these are the things, little, you know, just by talking you figure out if there's gonna be, if he's gonna go up or not, if he's gonna just be here for a month and be like, let's say there was this cricketer who was 17 years old. He came up to me and I was talking to him and I told him कि पेन है तो मत जा, ट्रेनिंग पे मत आ या कुछ भी, मतलब कि रेस्ट कर, ठीक है, फॉर दिस टाइम रेस्ट कर, रिकवरी कर, क्योंकि ये पेन एग्रीवेट होगा अगर तू कंटिन्यू करता रहेगा. तो मैंने बोला आई स्पीक टू योर डैड. लाइक नहीं भैया, पापा से मत बात करो. भाई ये क्या मतलब, ही इज पेइंग फॉर दिस एंड इफ़ यू वांट कि हाँ ये करेगा. 1 महीना आया, छोड़ के चलेगा. और वो लिटरली ही केम थ्रू अ रियली क्लोज फ्रेंड हु टोल्ड हिम दैट यू नो आई एम लाइक किशले इज द बेस्ट टू गो टेक दिस फॉरवर्ड. उसको नहीं पसंद आया मेरे मेथड्स, चलेगा. एंड आई डोंट नो वेयर ही इज नाउ, बट जो भी है, बट यू फिगर आउट जस्ट बाय टॉकिंग दैट if this guy is going to be serious or not. Or
have you seen people switch in their mindset over time? Sometimes unserious थे, serious हो गए later on, या कोई serious था and they lost the ball along the way.
ये तो बहुत काफ़ी, I mean, बहुत क्या बोलूँ इसको मैं, offensive हो जाएगा. So there's this saying, मेरे सर बोलते हैं, हमारे स्कूल के कोच हैं, तो मेरे लाइक शुरू से बचपन से वही कोच है. तो वो बोलते हैं कि डीपीएस से हुआ है अभी, तो डीपीएस में लाइक बच्चा 9th तक टॉप फुटबॉलर है, यू नो, 9th स्टैंडर्ड तक बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया खेलता है, सब कुछ करता है डेडिकेशन के साथ. 9th के बाद पेरेंट्स कम इन, गर्लफ्रेंड्स कम इन, लड़कियाँ चेयर अप करने लग जाती हैं तो आपका दिमाग चले जाता है कहीं और, एंड फोन्स स्टार्ट कमिंग इन, यू नो, यू गेट योर फोन्स, there are distractions, and till 9th the player is like extraordinary, and I have seen that, you know, I've seen that with players who were like literally great, but then post 9th 10th 11th वाला जो वो है टाइम, like drastic ऐसे गए हैं, उनका ग्राफ यूं गया नीचे. So yeah, that is their
other priorities in life.
मतलब ठीक है, गर्लफ्रेंड बन जाती है, डिसाइड हो जाते हैं, घर वाले बोल रहे हैं
teenager thing, it's like
घर वाले बोल रहे हैं बोर्ड्स के लिए पढ़ो, साइंस लेनी है,
that's specifically an Indian thing.
95% चाहिए बोर्ड्स में, 10th के बोर्ड में 95% लाके क्या करोगे भाई तुम? I don't get it.
I've realized that, so in India there's like this whole system now set up कि you have to get high in your 10th grade so that you can get into science, and then do well in your 12th grade so you can get into college. Do well in your college so you can get into a good job, and then you stay in good job and promote whatever. समझ लो तुम्हारे पेरेंट ने कहा भाई इससे नहीं होने वाला स्पोर्ट्स, जा तू 10th का अच्छा वहाँ क्लास.
I think I am doing something that is a second choice. I was playing professionally for a long time, so I think this is my saying कि अगर मैं फुटबॉलर नहीं बनता तो क्या करता, तो मैं ये करता. तो मैं अभी वो कर रहा हूँ जो मैं नहीं करना चाहता था, बट आई एम हैप्पी. ठीक है, मेकिंग गुड मनी, सो इट्स ओके, चलता है. आई एम हैप्पी. आई थिंक वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई आई लेफ्ट फुटबॉल वाज probably because of that, the money factor.
What age did you leave?
I left at 26, 27, I would say. I fucked my knee, honestly. If I be very honest, I fucked my knee, and I did not want to get an operation done, surgery done. I mean, there was something in my head that if I say, अगर मैं बहुत ज़्यादा बिल्कुल ही brutally honest हो जाऊँ तो कि body में छेद नहीं कराना. That's something that was in my head कि ठीक है, ठीक, like if it's recoverable, if you can physiotherapy से recover हो सकता है तो करो. And I did that. But I know in some movements that it will go again. So it was my meniscus on my left knee, and it was a grade 1 tear. Gradually happened, so there was pain starting to build up over time, and I recovered. I was doing enough of my physical assessment. सब कुछ सही था. I played for a while, And then suddenly there was a movement, because while playing you don't know, you just have to go all out. So I just took a shot in a very weird angle. It was not weird angle, but this is something that I've been doing all my life. So I did that, and I could literally feel it. When it's shattering, I could feel it.
You could feel it like...
Yeah, I felt it there. It's shattering. So it was a lateral grade 1 then, but when it got relapsed, it was a grade 3 lateral and a grade 2 medial. It's still there, but I can squat 150. So
How do you come back from this sort of injury? Like,
well, it was devastating. Honestly, that was the time I had to make a choice कि हाँ छोड़ना है या खेलना है. तो अगर खेलना है तो ऑपरेशन करा के. So I really put my head into this कि भाई ऑपरेशन कराऊंगा and फिर रिकवरी मोड जाएगा. There's a good chance of relapse even then. ठीक है. But I think I started my Get Fit with Kish program then. So when I was injured, I started my Get Fit with Kish program. And चल गया वो. That idea of open area training and bringing my football concept, what I've learned into, and mixing it up with weights. It's something that it just worked. It was not totally CrossFit then. It was not totally CrossFit, but it was covering everything in a very holistic way. So it worked. It just clicked. Money started flowing in. I was like, okay, this is also not bad.
sort of things started falling in place.
Yeah. So I said, this is also not bad. So I'll just play. Okay, I'll play for my passion then. It's not gonna go professional.
Yeah, I've seen you on your Instagram.
Yeah, there's
still some football clips.
Yeah,
Top scorer here.
Yeah, वही है ना. That's something that I play every Sunday or something like that. Once a week, twice a week. So.
Or you play with just pick up games or like?
There's groups, WhatsApp groups. There's like just game happening. Just put your name in, go there. So all these friends who were playing before are like still playing just for leisure.
What about Tre? If it wasn't for well, there's so many things you do. I feel like you events. Yeah, I'll have to cut down like 100 things before I feel like, okay, now what would you do if it wasn't for all this? No yoga, no calorie diet, no flexibility, no stretching, no.
Oh man, probably hanging from a bed sheet or something. No, I think it would have been. So I mean, academically, I've studied aerospace engineering.
Damn.
Yes, you can refer to me as captain.
Okay, buddy.
But I don't think I would have done anything in that field at all. I haven't beyond just studying it. But I'd probably be doing something in music. I already have I already am active within the music industry, not to the levels or the range that I was before. But if it wasn't for this fitness or wellness thing, it would have been something music, probably something that's more...
What, do you play an instrument or you sing?
Both. I play in a West African fusion band. There's 6 of us, so out of 6, 4 of us play.
I think you told this.
Percussions, yeah.
What do you play?
I play a percussions drum called the kenkeni. You play it with sticks. So I would have been doing something like that. I would have probably been taken up a job with like an agency or some sort of firm and just worked a more regular 9-to-5 job that's around music and entertainment.
I don't think I can do
events
that.
curation. That's what I would have done.
I can't do 9-to-5.
I did 9-to-5 for 1 year.
Well, 9-to-5 in the music industry is very different. It's like you don't consider being at your gym all day 9-to-5, right? It's just.
No, I'm working on myself, so.
But exactly. But I mean, I just mean the daily show up, the daily routine of working, morning to evening. It's different within the music industry as well. It's like it's all project based. You also you're working toward an event. You're curating things. It's not like you're not constantly.
Yeah, but someone is telling
blitzing away.
You have to do this.
Sure, but then there's many creative angles around it as well.
I'm sure.
Like, it's not very sort of black and white. Like, you're allowed to add your color and your own little zest.
I'm guessing, like, if you're with a big label, then you're being told, oh, maybe pizzazz it up more, make it more generic.
Yeah.
Versus when you're doing your own thing,
yeah.
You can basically, like, create indie music kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really interesting, man. Everyone's life journey. I'd say I started out like as a child really not athletic or sports oriented at all. But I come from a family that is majorly my mom's side. Or so like my grandpa was a walking Olympian, a walking champion, and he brought home many medals. My mom's brother specifically was a bodybuilding champion. My brother, actually, when we lived in Bahrain, he was in the senior school, and in Bahrain they used to have these school Olympics. And all of these schools used to get together and have like this 1 year annual school Olympics. And my brother was like really, really great, to the point in track and field, to the point where the Royal Highness of Bahrain called, I remember this evening also once, called our home. And back then there was no mobiles, right? So the phone was like clankering over the thing, and my brother picks it up, and I can watch my brother was like, yeah, hello. And my brother's eye just goes, Mom! And gives it to my mom, and basically my mom hung up, and it was like the king of Bahrain is asking for you to represent Bahrain as a track and field athlete. But it didn't work out because they had some deliverables expected from us that my mom was unwilling to change. Praise the Lord. Kind of thing.
Change religion.
So there's that, and then my life changed. I think actually maybe my first inspiration was, you know, we had so many really cool action, sort of adventure, action fantasy movies back in the day. So it would be me trying to kill my time, sort of trying to replicate some of these action hero moves. And then I actually got into it through a series of really great mountain-based adventures in Uttarakhand. I did a lot of trekking, climbing, camp management with my best friend. We were under the guidance of somebody. And when we returned, or when it all came to an end in 2013, we were like, oh man, like moving gives us such a body high or adrenaline rush. And so we were like, what do we do? And we joined a gym. And in that gym, there were so many trainers, coaches that didn't know what they were doing or instructing. That's also a huge sort of deficit or blank section, you know. And it's not just in the fitness industry. Yeah. It's truly in just even hospitality industry. It's so sad. You walk up to like a counter for like, let's say a coffee shop for an example, and it's like people just get the job. They apply for the job, they get the job, and the orientation process is out. It's just like, here's your shirt, wear your uniform, and
start working.
Yeah, start working.
Start experimenting.
They have to learn.
Coffee when I experimenting.
Yeah, they have to learn on the job. And most of these jobs are, again, they're like global sort of things that are coming to us in India, right? We're trying to match our so-called ancient ways with the modern times. That's where the blank is at. We actually need a lot more communication, comprehensive communication amongst ourselves for that to happen. Then, yeah, it wasn't working out with these gym members, these gym coaches in this particular gym. And we took up calisthenics. Calisthenics gave me a lot of really great feedback. That's when it was through training calisthenics that I learned that training hard is not necessarily training efficiently. And there will be repercussions from it. Young blood probably can recover faster, but as we age, it's not really the best mantra or science. And last thing I wanted to say is to sort of shed more light. It's like Kalari Payat, again, it brought a lot of sort of holistic understanding to things. Now it actually, from this ancient practice, it actually wants me to lend a more keen ear or like read an article that might be about the example of cupping therapy. Before I just be like, that's not my kind of recovery, I prefer a massage. Yeah. But now because I know like a certain part of it in Kalari is not actually cupping therapy, but other things where there is like, you know, a sort of release of toxins or draining of toxins, I will want to read how cupping, because I know that there's some part of it that brings it back to, again, not Kalari, but just indigenous practices. So I'm really thankful to my 3 Gurukuls, Rahim and Ganesh and Shatru. And also I train with this one guy, Vaishak, back in Kerala, who's also my teacher, but I spend a lot of time with him training and coaching, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Everyone's journey. It's like even hearing your story was pretty great. I think there's something very respectable about. It must have been difficult for you to have to choose between continuing as an athlete.
Yeah.
But I compliment and respect anyone that practices the solutions for themselves, which is something you've done. You know?
Yeah, I think I've talked enough about it, so I think that's why I feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I don't let it out and just keep it within me,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
Probably
gonna just.
Slap a trainee in the face one day. How many push-ups did you say? I told you!
So I do keep talking about it, even though it's triggers something, but then it's fine. So like,
It triggers
or another situation. How many push-ups did you say? So yeah, my knee situation.
just go on a different tangent. Yeah, but damn, because this went deeper than I was expecting. Like more personal stories.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, what would you be doing in life? And then you're like, thanks for sharing. So it's like group therapy, I guess. But then I mean,
What else you got?
There is one thing. I think something just fun for the audience is like, what is it like in the daily life of Kishlay or daily life of Tre?
honestly, I would want to sleep as much as I can.
See, hey guys,
I'm not kidding.
Kishlay is not superhuman. He's just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's true. I would want to sleep. So जाऊँ मैं 24 घंटे. I want to sleep 24 hours a day because I've heard people saying that I slept for 20 hours. Like, what? How is that possible?
Wow.
Okay, there's this guy who comes to work, cleaner. He's a cleaner. So he's like, मैं तो सर 12 बजे उठता हूँ. Like क्या? मैं कितने बजे सोता है? कहता 12 बजे सोता हूँ. मैं तो 12 घंटे की नींद पूरी कर रहा है. वैसे मुझे 12 साल हो गए 12 घंटे की नींद मिले हुए. लेकिन 12 घंटे की नींद क्या होती है भाई? दादा कि 5-6 घंटे सो रहा हूँ मैं, वो भी हो जाता है कि चलो ठीक है मिल गए 5-6 घंटे सोने के लिए. लेकिन 12 घंटे की नींद कैसे हो रही है?
But ये तो होता है ना, when you're running your own business, you
I know, but
sacrifice some sleep here and there.
Yeah, those are the weekends for me. But then okay, there's something or the other happening every Saturday or Sunday. You know, when you think yeah, you're gonna have to like now today I'll sleep, but नहीं, कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है and you just wake up at 6 in the morning. रात को 2 बजे सो रहा है, सुबह 6 बजे नींद खुल गई क्योंकि आदत है. और उठ के फिर वो फोन पे लगे हुए हैं. अबे यार.
मेरे साथ भी यही हुआ. Like you know, after spending like 3 weeks training these guys, waking at 6:30, आज was finally the first day of rest, and I was like okay. And then I wake up and I check the time. It's like 5:30.
Dude, it sucks. It sucks.
Well, no, then I just fell back to sleep after that.
I mean, okay, when you have nothing to do, then I sleep. I'll go like, okay, ठीक है. फिर 6 से उठा हूँ 7, 7:30, 8 बजे तक फिर सो गया और फिर उठ रहा हूँ. But एक लंबा deep sleep, you know,
That's what you want.
that's what I want. Like,
But I'm asking, what is it like in your daily life otherwise?
What's in like, okay, see, there are sessions early in the morning, okay? So there's something that I love getting up in the morning. Okay? I like getting up in the morning. It's not like I don't. I like getting up in the morning from Monday to Friday. Let's say Monday to Friday. उठना है सुबह. Okay, I love the feeling of going and training these people. And then yeah, it's some brainstorm post 10-11 p.m. for some time, and then it's nap. If I don't take that afternoon nap, then my evening lines are fucked.
Then Aaron Titus Mali, you're in for a shocking.
I am not kidding. It's absolutely true. Like they're dying.
Eat, sleep.
Yeah. They're like,
You're the reason I didn't get sleep.
they know I haven't slept in the afternoon. They know I haven't napped. And I've seen this,
Do you know why you're gonna be sore by the end of this workout? Because Kishlay get no sleep, man.
If I haven't napped in the afternoon, these people are dead. So that evening I noticed, I was like, I'm giving tips to everyone. Usually I don't. I was like, ठीक है कर रहा है. Because कुछ लोग advice लेते हैं, कुछ लोग some people they just don't listen. Even if they want to, they just don't focus. And like, okay, let them be. If I'm training someone, if they are in the program or something like that, तो वो तो possible है नहीं कि वो गलत करेंगे, कुछ को करना ही नहीं गलत. But जो normal gym goers हैं जो कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे workout, so I'm advising everyone happily. You know, I'm moving around. I'm not sitting in one place. If there's no class, I'm just not sitting, chilling on my phone. I'm moving around. I'm advising everyone कि हाँ ऐसे walk करो, treadmill पे जाके ऐसे walk करो. Don't walk holding the handles. Swing your arms and walk. Rowing ऐसे करो.
Nice
Lat
guy,
pull down
Kishlay.
ऐसे करो. हाँ मैं actually ऐसा हूँ. So I can tell.
Did you nap today?
It
feels like it.
I napped today. That's why I'm talking so
Yeah,
much.
like-
Yes. And also there's, bro. Do you know about delta waves?
Yeah.
मैंने चलाई है. मैं 2 बजे सोया हूँ आज दिन में.
But how do you get, like, is there an app or you YouTube kind of
YouTube.
thing? YouTube.
Yeah,
Delta.
YouTube delta waves. You should try it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I fall asleep sometimes.
I'll
to
send you the
Delta.
link. I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Best sleep ever, I'm guessing.
Bro, if you haven't slept the whole night,
no,
let's say, if you need
I
2-3 hours sleep, na? If you have just 2-3 hours to sleep, put that on and sleep. You will wake up fresh.
That's true.
Wake up fresh.
Sometimes
I've seen a lot of YouTube like recommend alpha waves, delta waves. This.
Yeah, delta waves is the best. If you, I'll start just exploring this where you can get 12 hours sleep. Sounds that make you sleep for 12 hours without any
there are.
disturbance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's
There's
melatonin for
different,
that. There's melatonin for that, but I want to try melatonin and
I tried once. If asked them, not to mention the,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to target the brand or anything,
Yeah.
but they had the product melatonin. Oh my god, it's not the kind of sleep I would recommend. Like it just feels like you're being forced to be drowsy. You pass out and you wake up and you're still like
Oh man,
feeling shit.
Oh, that's not what I want.
sounds
Yeah.
like a Saturday night.
I'm not a party person. I can't go out and socialize. It might just seem like I'm a very social person, but I'm
Nah, I'm the same. Like I'm not really a party person unless I'm like, let's say, best friends.
Yeah.
I'm chilling together, talking.
Yeah, that's different. Like I have like game nights happening every weekend in my gym. Like game nights as in we are playing board games. Actually, different type of board games. If you're here next weekend, come. Both of you come. So we are playing Secret Hitler. We are playing.
Dude, I'd love to be invited to your so-called mid-afternoon naps. I want to sleep for 2 hours in the afternoon, man.
Just put on like
Invite me
the
to that.
radio or the speaker on delta waves. And you're
Yeah, bro.
Hey guys, you want to come over for a nap? Oh my gosh, that would be a treat.
delta wave
Be
session.
a gift.
Yeah, there's a good thing. There's nobody in the afternoon in the gym. There's nobody in the gym in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So
Somebody walks in, just 3 instructors.
देखने दो अपना room है रो पर तो वहाँ पे सो रहा हूँ. But then there has been time, when the initial years, so
Speaking of naps.
Oh, Zaza.
ये ले.
He's coming here. Okay.
There's initial years and then there was, I think I had no personal space in the gym. So literally I was sleeping, I think in the yoga room. Dude, this guy, there's a whole empty gym, and my gym is not small. It's a huge gym. You can literally just do anything anywhere.
It's massive.
हाँ, तो वो बंदा आके उसने literally योगा रूम चूज करा डेडलिफ्ट करने के लिए. I'm like, bro, क्या कर रहा है? मैं सो रहा हूँ वहाँ पे, मतलब literally मैंने मैट में नैप ले रहा हूँ मैं. It's like, दे डेडलिफ्ट है, हम नीचे.
It's like you can feel the vibrations through the mat.
भाई, आज suddenly होगा like, कोई नहीं कर ले. क्या बोलूँ उसको अब. So yeah, but yeah, afternoon naps are very important. But yeah, guys, when are you leaving Delhi? You're here for a while, huh?
Tomorrow.
Oh shit.
He'll come back. Or
Come back.
he hopes to be more involved with training the athletes.
So yeah, next time you come for the game night.
Board game session,
Yeah.
nap session, and board game session.
Nap
Board
session.
game session.
Yeah.
Nap session तो छोड़ो यार.
No, we start with the nap session and then follow into board game session at the end of the day.
It'll be good.
Board game session.
You need energy for the board game, so.
Like Kishlay really wants to play board. He's like board game session करना है.
Oh, it's very fun, bro. It's really.
What's a
really
board game?
fun.
What board games?
Have you played Secret Hitler?
No, that's the first time I've
Secret
heard of it
Hitler?
actually.
Yeah.
I heard Secret and I was like, okay. And then my brain registered Hitler. I was like, excited.
There's also Shasan. There's also code names. Then there's a card game called Cabo, and then sequence.
I'm very outdated when it comes to board games. Mine
Yeah,
is
I
like
haven't
the
heard of
old
any
school
of
ones,
these games.
bro. Snakes and ladders.
Mine's
Monopoly.
And Cluedo.
Yeah.
I still love Cluedo.
I haven't
Ludo,
kept
you
up
mean?
with it.
Cluedo.
What the fuck is that? What is Cluedo? Is it like Ludo?
Not at all.
Oh.
It's like a mystery game.
Oh, I know which one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Played like once or twice.
Yeah. You have like murder mystery basically. So there's also props like noose and like knife, candle holder, and you have to figure out like who the
murderer is.
Yeah.
So it's like Mafia.
never played.
Think, Mafia is slightly different. Mafia is like,
So that
you're sitting in a group, everyone is like,
Yeah.
the one guy's a Mafia.
So Secret Hitler is Mafia on steroids.
That's Secret Mafia gets intense sometimes.
Secret Hitler has like literally it has props. You have your own card in which you have a role. In which there's one Hitler and there are liberals and there are fascists. Literally, you get cards, envelopes in which you have to just open and see it with a.
Am I a fascist? Okay.
Yeah.
What is a fascist supposed to do? I don't know.
So they're like, yeah, these are the games. But yeah, it does get intense at times.
Breaks friendships.
Break friendships, that's true. That is there if you're not mature enough.
So like, hey, nahi, tu nahi bola. I'm never meeting you
This is
again.
very stupid though.
It sounds fun though. I mean, we should do it with the athletes also, no? Like when the whole group is here, it's
Yeah,
a
we can do
board
that.
game session, cool.
Yeah, we can do that.
Either make or break the team by mistake. This was fun, man. Do you guys have anything else you want to add in? Best of luck
What
to
was
the
your-
athletes.
Yeah.
Question was nothing. It was just what is like to be Tre in a day, in the average day.
Hey, what is it like to be Tre? You just want to ask him.
Continue. We'll just start with
What's the question again?
what is like to be Tre in the average day, on a daily basis.
What is it like to be Tre?
I feel like you answered this. I feel like we deviated so much. I don't know what
I
parts you
don't know
answered.
if you asked me that question.
I asked it in general, like what it's like to be.
You
a guy.
asked me, and
You answered.
I got to naps.
Yeah.
And
And
you
then
got
he
the
got
board games.
fascinated.
Yeah, he got fascinated by naps. Like, what are naps? I don't
Call
know.
me for your next nap time. Like what?
I've been waking up at 6:30 every day. What are naps, bro?
Yeah. You mean what is it like in a day?
Average day, like not training these guys, anything, just like a normal day of Tre.
Not training these guys, or just my regular day.
Your regular day, yeah.
is wake
Making
up.
an omelette of 6 eggs, which takes like 2 hours to
I
make.
wake up, and upon that, I'll do just a really little bit of a light practice. It's not anything that takes too long, and then I'm immediately out on the road trying to get myself a coffee. I think coffee is really great for me to start my day. It's a very effective acting stimulant. I get that in. And I'm actually out. I really like to wake up and like get that morning sunlight or just the stimulation of the outdoor environment. So I'm out at the park or I'm cycling, or if I'm not doing any workout, I'll go visit some people at a coffee shop. Return back and training. It's usually a combination of training myself solo or going to like a group class. It might be examples of yoga or like a mixed martial art for conditioning, or doing some music practice with my band, or catching up with friends. I don't really spend or get to spend a lot of time in Bombay much anymore. Bombay's kind of like sort of like being on a university campus ground where like everyone is made Bombay their home away from home. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Just there's on the daily routines is training. On most days there's music practice, and every day there's socializing or getting some sort of alone time in nature, in a park or by the seaside.